Like, yeah, somebody that you're used to and that knows precisely how to do it. No. That thing's up there too, Adam. The there's all. Oh. Hello? Oh, okay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for the community service meeting. I will call this meeting to order. It is 6:04. What did you do, Jordan?
Huh?
What did you do?
I just muted your volume. I want to make sure that counselors can hear you.
Can you call roll, please?
Mayor Nanette Rodriguez.
Present.
Counselor Aaron Salazar.
Present.
Counselor Manuel Martinez.
Present.
Counselor Dorothy Valdez.
Present.
Quorum.
You have the agenda before you. Can I get an approval of the agenda?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion to approve the agenda by Counselor Martinez, second by Counselor Aaron Salazar. Motion carries. Can you call roll, please?
Chair Nanette Rodriguez.
For the motion?
Counselor Aaron Salazar.
In favor.
Counselor Manuel Martinez.
In favor.
Counselor Dorothy Valdez.
For the motion.
Motion carries.
Yes. Next on the agenda is public comments. Open it up to counselors. Do you have anything on the agenda for tonight?
May I speak?
Counselor Manny Martinez, of course.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First off, I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope everybody has very safe holidays and very nice holidays, spending time with their family. I also just wanted to announce that the New Mexico Hispano Music Association will be having its annual youth and children talent competition. That'll be held on December 30th. It's at 6 o'clock at the OK Casino Event Center, and I urge anybody that has not attended one of these competitions to do so. It's just amazing to see these young kids from ages 5 all the way to 17, 18, the talent that they have. If you've never attended one, the competition is basically like The Voice or America's Got Talent, something like that. The kids sing to a music track. They are judged not by the crowd, but they are actually judged by a panel of radio DJs that stem from Albuquerque all the way up to southern Colorado. So they do get a chance to be listened to by some pretty good critics, I would say, that listen to a lot of music. So, but it's just the fact that they can get up there and do this in front of approximately, anywhere from 300 to 400 people, because the association also hands out their nominations ceremony at the same time. So you have a lot of different talented people in the audience, bands, groups, soloists that are there as well, that these kids have to perform in front of. So it's just amazing to watch them and their composure. And I think I'm more nervous for them during that night than they are for themselves. But it's just amazing, and I would extend an invitation to each one of you and your families to just, if you want to spend a nice evening and enjoy some nice talent, come out and support these kids. Also, if there's anybody out there with any grandmas, grandpas, or parents that have children that might be interested in this competition, that they can contact me at 929-0302, or they can contact Verna Trujillo at 929-1533, and we'll make sure that they get a packet for registration. Or they can also contact KDCE Radio, and they can get them one as well. Other than that, I just want to wish again everybody a happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and safe holidays for everybody. I want to make sure everybody returns back to the city where they belong after the holidays, after a nice, safe, and wonderful holidays. I would say don't eat too much, but I can already tell you, I know I am. I've already started. But enjoy your holidays, everybody. And thank you guys so much for everything you guys do. Thank you.
Yes, I would like to reiterate what Counselor Manny Martinez said. Quiero desearles a todos una Navidad feliz, lleno con amor, con su familia, y que todos pasen un año maravilloso. 2023 va a ser el mejor para la ciudad y para todas las comunidades y toda la gente. Feliz Navidad otra vez.
Thank you, Councilor Dorothy Valdez. That was some pretty excellent Spanish that you spoke there.
Gracias.
Okay, so let's move on. We have matters from the chair. I really don't have anything to report other than I just want to acknowledge city staff and the Community Services Department particularly for your dedication and your hard work. Anytime there's an event in the city and it utilizes your facilities, you and your staff are there. From the beginning of the activity, whether it starts at 6 in the morning or 8 or 9 and ends at 12 o'clock midnight, you are there at everyone's beck and call. And I absolutely appreciate it. I know sometimes the work that you do goes unacknowledged, but it certainly doesn't by this committee, by the governing body and the mayor. So thank you. Thank you for working as hard as you do, answering calls when we need lights turned on or whatever it is. It's because of you that these activities are successful. And I'd like to wish you and your families a happy holiday, a blessed holiday, and that you all remain safe, eat lots, and we look forward to coming back for the new year and getting ready to make a difference in our communities. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve, ma'am.
Second.
Motion to approve minutes by Councilor Manny Martinez, second by Councilor Dorothy Valdez. Ms. Amethyst, can you call roll, please?
Chair Nanette Rodriguez,
For the motion,
Counselor Aaron Salazar,
In favor.
Counselor Manny Martinez,
In favor?
Counselor Dorothy Valdez.
For the motion.
Motion carries.
thank you, Amethyst. Discussion and recommendation items to the full council, Mr. Jeremy Maestas.
Thank you, Honorable Chair Rodriguez, honorable members of the committee. This evening, we do have a facilities use agreement with the Santa Fe Community Soccer League. However, this is not going to go to the full council. And the reason being is because they are going to be renting the facility, but Ms. Maria did want to update the committee as far as what this is going to entail with this organization. So if she's online, I'll go ahead and pass the floor over to her to give the update.
Yes, good evening, and thank you, Jeremy. Mr. Morataya definitely wanted to continue using our facility as last time that it started per se, but it didn't continue was because of COVID. And so this time around, he's willing to restart it again. And of course, with everyone's blessing on that end. And as Jeremy mentioned, it was approved before, but we would just wanted to update you on that end. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, did everybody hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Do we stand if there's any questions, Madam Chair?
Fellow councilors, are there any questions on the facility use agreement that you have before you?
No questions.
Okay, if there's no questions, sounds like this has already been approved. Thank you for presenting it to the committee. And again, thank you for making sure that these agreements are in place. Next on the agenda is department reports. We will start with our Community Services Director, Mr. Jeremy Maestas.
Thank you, Honorable Chair Rodriguez, honorable members of the committee. This is going to be a little bit of an overview back and forth between the months of November and December. Since we weren't able to meet in the month of November. First of all, I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of my staff for their continued hard work throughout the year. It's been a very busy year for community services, which is a great thing. The fact that we were able to have so many more activities in person, post-pandemic or after the pandemic, so it's been a really wonderful thing that we've been able to have so many activities, and my staff has just done a phenomenal job. Since I got here a year and a half ago, I have just really seen my staff excel, and they all do such a wonderful job for the people of the community, for all the public events that we have. So I just really want to thank them for their continued dedication and loyalty to the city of Española and its residents. Greatly appreciate that. I'd also like to extend a special thanks to this committee for always being very supportive of the community services departments, our community services department, and the mission that we have in order to provide not just recreational and parks activities to the people, but also senior services, the library, all the different activities that come through community services. So thank you very much for that continued support. As you know, we just had the 26th annual Electric Light Parade and Christmas on the Plaza. One of the biggest events, or one of the bigger events, should I say, that the city hosts every year. And it was just phenomenal as always. We had a lot of spectators. We had over 40 floats, if I'm not mistaken. And everyone just had a wonderful time. The Santa Claus landed up flying into the plaza. The kids were so excited to see him and get a chance to take pictures with him. We also had the arts and crafts event that took place inside the Missioni Convento, with local artists being able to put their work on display and also to make some money for the holidays, as well as different vendors on the plaza. Excuse me, and a lot of things going on, but the main attraction that evening, I think, was the parade. Even though it was cold outside, people filled the streets, and they came out and enjoyed themselves. A special thanks to all these city departments that came and assisted. It wasn't just community services, but we also had assistance from the general services department, from public safety. Everybody came together in order to ensure that this was a great event. Parks did a phenomenal job in decorating the plaza, as well as City Hall, and they also received a good amount of assistance from the water and wastewater department, from GSD. Everybody came together, and that's one of the big things that I think is most inspiring to me being here, is that when it comes down to really big events, all the departments pull together and work together as a team. And I think that's a really great thing when we can do things like that. So we did have an excellent light parade, and I'm hoping that you all had a chance to see that and that you enjoyed it as well. We did have the tree replacements on the plaza. Unfortunately, the previous Christmas tree that we had, I don't know if it got a bug or what happened, but the tree ended up drying out. So we actually we installed 2 new Christmas trees. One of them, which has historically been called the Mayor's Christmas tree, and the other one is the official Christmas tree. The library did an excellent job in getting the youth from the community to come out and create the ornaments that are on the tree. So all the ornaments that are on the trees were done by youth from within the community, within the valley, that came out to the library to decorate those ornaments that went on the trees. So we got 2 beautiful trees on the plaza, and we're really excited about that. We did some coordination with Shop with a Cop. They had a fundraiser over at the senior center in order to raise money to be able to have that event with the youth who are in need. So we were happy to be able to assist with that, with public safety, to get that going. As you know, we did have the official opening of the Lucero Center pool. A lot of people were very happy about that. We were very happy about that, to see that the pool was up and running, or is up and running. I think Chair Rodriguez has been doing several classes already, water aerobics. So definitely want to encourage the community to take part in that. We have had a discussion, we meaning myself and Streets Department along with GSD, for the removal of the old fountain that's on the plaza. The fountain that I'm talking about is that real big gray rock fountain that's sitting in the front, that year after year we're not able to turn it on because when they installed that, they didn't run any plumbing to it. And so essentially what it's become is basically an area for kids to be jumping on, and water build up from rainfall and snow. The mayor has asked for us to look at removing it, as there is going to be future plans for that specific area for something else to be going on there. So we have had the discussion about that within the new year, we'll be removing that fountain structure from the front of the plaza. Again, we had plaza decorating with the Parks Department as well as the Bond House and City Hall. We're very thankful to the staff that assisted in making sure that our facilities were very festive for the holiday season. We also had the 2022 general election that happened in November. The Lucero Center was used as a polling location. They saw over, I think, almost 1,000 voters that came in through the doors of Lucero Center that day to cast their vote. So the city was glad that they were able to once again partner with the county clerk's office and able to provide a voting location for the residents of the community. We had the Veterans Day event at the Wall with the Veterans Commission, as well as with different local, state, and federal leaders that came to join us for that event. It was a beautiful ceremony. We had Congresswoman Teresa Ledger Fernandez was there, and they had representatives as well from Senator Ben Ray Lujan's office and Martin Heinrich's office. Very beautiful event as always there at the Memorial Wall. And at that time for Veterans Day, we also had the replacement of the flags throughout the city. We typically replace the flags throughout the city twice a year. The first one happens right before Veterans Day, and the second one happens right before Memorial Day. So the flags at City Hall, Lucero Center, the Plaza, and the Desert Storm Memorial all get replaced twice a year during those times. We had the Thanksgiving meal at the Senior Center. Special thanks to the counselors that participated and assisted us with that. The seniors were so happy to be able to have that event and be able to have that time to socialize with their friends and, you know, get together. It was a really great success. We had a lot of people coming in, and I'm sure that Ms. Dora will talk more about that during her presentation, but it was a really great event, and our seniors really enjoyed it. The city manager has approved the new policies and procedures for the rental of city facilities. I'm going to see if those need to come before this body again, before they get taken up to full city council, if they're needing to be ratified that way. I'm going to check on that. I don't know if they do because they're administrative policies and procedures, but I'm going to follow up. The other thing that I may be bringing forth to this committee as well as to the governing body is the possibility of looking at possibly increasing rental prices. The reason for that is obviously as everything has gone up because of the current times, we need to start looking at facility rentals as well, as electricity has gone up, cleaning supplies have gone up, stuff like that. But I will be looking into that and bringing it hopefully within the beginning of the new year to this committee. The roof project at the Misión y Convento was fully completed. We are so excited about that. It's nice to have a brand new roof there. We're looking forward to the spring coming in as the HVAC system will be installed now in the spring. We're thinking about March. So hopefully by the time Fiestas rolls around, the Misión y Convento will be fully air conditioned, and so people won't be melting in there for the events that happen there. Right now, we're still reviewing options for replacements for the senior center vehicles. Dora's been working on that, so we're waiting to see what we can get. That buying a vehicle isn't as easy as it used to be. It's gotten a little harder, so we're trying to make sure that we get vehicles that are compatible for the needs for our seniors. We did get some great news. We did receive the $750,000 for the renovations of the Ranchitos Park. So that's going to be up and running here, hopefully within the new year. We're going to get back on business on that to get those, the initial projects that we had discussed for the renovations at that facility up and running. So we're very excited about that. It does look like we did fill the front desk position at the Lucero Center. We did make an offer to an individual, and we're hoping that that individual has accepted so that that position will be filled. And other than that, we are just getting ready to shut it down for the Christmas break, but I stand for any questions if Honorable Chair or members of the committee have any for me.
Councilor Manny Martinez.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Mr. Jeremy, I do have a question on the removal of the proposed fountain that's in the front of the plaza area. Is that going to require the city council to act in any form when it comes to that removal?
Honorable Chair Rodriguez, members of the committee, Councilor Martinez, I don't believe so. I can ask, but I don't believe that it would require the approval of the governing body. I think it would only require that of the city manager, but I will double check to make sure before we start any type of demolition, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. And also on the renovation that's going to take place at the Ranchitos Park, are we still looking at the same plan that was in place prior to getting this money?
Yes, sir. We are still looking at the same projects. The only other addition that I'm hoping to make is going to be the fencing off of the parking lot area. But other than that, it should be the same projects that we had initially discussed when we initially submitted the request for funding.
Okay. Also, I know that one of the conditions, or not conditions, or one of the things that the council approved when we approved the franchise fee with Hemis Electric was that we would use any extra money for lighting. So you might want to look to see if we're going to be needing any extra lighting in that area. Perhaps we can use some of that money if it's not in the grant that we already have to possibly use that to light up that area if we need to, sir.
Absolutely, sir. I will definitely look into that.
Thank you. And thank you for your report. Very informative and very complete, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Martinez. Councilor Aaron Salazar.
Thank you. Back to the lighting, Jeremy, at the parking lot, was it going to be redesigned? The light poles like lifted up from the concrete slabs that way, because they're always getting hit there.
Honorable Chair, members of the committee, Councilor Salazar, yes, well, no and yes. I don't believe that the lighting specifically was on there. I'll have to double check. I think initially what the projects were the walking track, the play structure, and that upper area. And then now with the fencing, but I will check because you're absolutely right. That has been an issue there because what happens is we have people that go and do donuts in that parking lot and they landed up wrecking into those pedestals that hold the lights. So if we are able to use the funding to redo the lighting, then absolutely we'll make sure that they redo the pedestals. And then I'm hoping if we're able to get the fencing in, that will deter a lot of that problem.
And the fencing is for the whole property or just the pool area?
So the fencing would go, the way I'm envisioning it, it would go from the beginning of the baseball field area here all the way to the end of the property line in front of the pool area. So that whole area would be blocked off. So they wouldn't be able to park after closing time. They wouldn't be able to park anywhere in that main area where they typically park right now.
Thank you. And also in the light parade, it was a great job. It was, a lot of floats, a lot of people, everyone having lots of fun. It was a great event. Yeah, thank you to all of you who worked so hard on that. It was great.
Thank you, sir.
Very well planned.
I have a question still about the lighting. I'm not an electrician, but I know that in the past it's been a problem about the theft of the copper wiring. Are these new lights, do they have to have copper wiring, or is there a different way of lighting that area without copper wires? Like I said, I'm not an electrician, but I'm just curious to know if we're still going to have the problem with the theft of copper wire.
Councilor Chair Rodriguez, members of the committee, Councilor Valdez, I'm not an electrician either, but I believe we could possibly do it they're doing it now with aluminum.
Correct.
You can do the aluminum wiring. So that would prevent them from getting any type of copper. We can do it aluminum, and that way it would be pretty much useless for them to steal it.
Okay. And I also just wanted to thank you, Mr. Maestas. You're always so positive. Your report, everything I heard was positive, and like Councilor Martinez said, very thorough report. And I'm so glad that you give credit to your staff, and because really it shows, if your staff can do it, it shows that they have a good leader. So that reflects on you, Jeremy. And I'm glad that they all get along. You said that different departments go and help you. And it's just music to my ears to hear that we can get along, the different departments. It's not my job, your job, it's our city. And so that really brings me great joy. And I want to thank you for your dedication to this job and to your staff. Thank you again.
Thank you, Councilor Valdez. You've been a busy group of people.
Yeah.
You had a lot going on in December. You have a lot going on all the time. And I think this committee acknowledges that. And so again, thank you. And thank you to your entire community services group. The other thing is I'm glad that counselors asked about the fencing and that you brought that up, because that was something that was on my mind. I was hoping that part of this funding would be for the fencing, and that you're envisioning that it is close to the road from the field all the way across. I think that's important.
Absolutely. Chair Rodriguez, members of the committee, we definitely have heard the concerns of the residents who live in that area there in Ranchitos. And, we haven't turned a blind eye or deaf ear to. We absolutely want to make sure that, they're staying comfortable, as well as that people, especially the young people that are going, past there, are being safe. Because, if they're doing stuff with their vehicles like that, the last thing we want is for them to end up in somebody's yard. So we're definitely going to take all the measures we can to ensure that we get those safety things up, the safety fence and stuff.
Mr. Maestas, and thank you for your great work.
Thank you.
If there's no further discussion or questions, we can move on. Next on the agenda is Ms. Dora to report on our senior center.
Good evening, Honorable Chair Rodriguez, members of the committee. Can everybody hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Thank you for all those wonderful comments, and thank you, Jeremy, for being our boss. You are very understanding and very helpful, as well as the staff for Lucero Center and Library. The seniors appreciate all the help that we get and the meals that we serve. So we get a lot of comments that they are grateful that we are still open. Since COVID, the Rio Arriba has closed most of their facilities, and they're very appreciative for us staying open and for having them a place to come and welcome everyone in the community as well. As you can see on the report for November here, we have a very good revenue. Thanksgiving was one of our biggest days. We made a little over $1,000 that day. So thank you everyone who helped. We appreciate all your help, counselors, volunteers. And I want to say thank you to all my staff who have worked together very well and have actually put 110% in doing their job and trying to get better at it. I want to say thank you too for all of those who actually come and eat at the senior center, and for those seniors who are always appreciative of us. We continue to host the Mesa to Mesa contract rental office. We actually have the Dream Tree project as well on the Stroke Side Center. Our Christmas luncheon was also a very successful day. That was held December the 14th, and we did about a little over $700 as well. So we're grateful for all of those who actually came in and ate as well. Like Jeremy said, we are working on getting new vehicles. We did get approval of the grant from the Long-Term and Aging Services. We have a couple of quotes that we are working on already, although we we'll have to wait a few months. Everybody is saying that it's taking between 9 to 10 months to be able to get any vans or any type of vehicles to support us in picking up the seniors who are in need of that ride, or taking them on their field trips as well. It was unfortunate that they hit us and took all the catalytic converters from the vehicles that we do have. So the parking lot has already started the phase 2. They have the markings in the parking lot, and hopefully they can start that soon to finish that project. The senior committee continues to fundraise. Right now, they are going to be doing little baggies for everybody who is coming in to have a meal on this last week before we close for Christmas. They want to get some peanuts, oranges, candies, and stuff to make little baggies. So if anybody wants to donate any of those, please drop them off at the senior center. We will be putting those bags together this week and giving them out hopefully Thursday and Friday. They will be having on Wednesday their gift exchange. There is quite a few of seniors who participated in that gift exchange. We will have one of our seniors with their band coming to play for us as well and have a little dance for them. So they'll be happy to enjoy that. That will be taking place on Wednesday, the 21st. I believe that's it. If anybody has any questions, I'm open.
Dora?
Uh-huh.
Any questions?
No questions. I just want to thank Dora for all that she's doing, and her staff. They do such a great job on all their activities with the seniors and their meals and getting everything done that they need to do. So I just want to thank her and her staff for everything. And thank you, Ms. Dora.
Thank you, sir.
Counselor Aaron Salazar?
Well, Mrs. Dora, thank you. I just want to comment to one of your comments. You said you're working hard to get better. It'll be pretty hard to do because you do a great job. You and that staff out there, you guys are on it. You know, you know what to do, what needs to get done, and you guys do a great job. And thank you. You're asking for donations for the goodie bags. What kind of donations did you need?
We're looking to put some oranges, some peanuts, and wrapped candy for the patrons that come in. And nuts if you guys have it.
Thank you, Dora.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Dora, and your staff at the senior center. Like you said, that Rio Arriba has closed theirs down, and I'm so glad that we have our center, the city center, for all our viejitos or seniors. I'm considered a senior citizen too, but I don't think I'm viejita yet. But,
young at heart. Young at heart.
Ya mero, pero not quite. Ya mero. And it just shows that the dedication that you have, the compassion, and the love that you feel for our ancianos. And I just want to thank you and your staff. Keep it up.
Thank you. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
Counselor, we can't hear you.
I was just trying to check to see with Jeremy if by chance we could reach out to the what is it, the NDRT, to see if maybe they could help us with the with issues as far as moving getting seniors, being that our buses are out of commission right now and our vans are out of commission. If there was a way that we could maybe partner with them until we're able to remedy it with the new vehicles, to see if they could help us through that.
Honorable Chair, members of the committee, Councilor Martinez. So, Councilor, we do have some vans. Dora, correct me if I'm wrong, but we do still have some functioning vans. We were able to preserve one of them that's utilized for us to pick up our seniors every day, and so they've been able to be utilizing that. The other one, they landed up. I don't know what the proper term is for it, but the way they tell us is they straight piped it so that they're able to use it. It kind of sounds like a tractor when you turn it on, but it functions for the use. So we do have two that are available right now. The one that they use every day we were able to preserve the Cadillac converter on that. So they have that. But if we were to see an increase in the amount of pickups, we do have the bigger van that would be able to be utilized until we get the new ones, hopefully by the mid part of the new year.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Dora, is that correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct. And you are right. They are functioning, but they do sound like tractors. The one that we actually do use right now, that they did put a catalytic converter on, when we have more than 6 seniors to pick up, we usually have two times that we go and we do the rounds so that we can be able to pick up those who are in need. But like we say, they are already exhausted their life, and I think the heater is going out on it now. So we actually carry blankets so that we won't freeze those poor seniors sometimes. But hopefully soon, hopefully we'll get it, and summer will come in where we won't need that heater.
I do have a quick question. I don't know if for you or for Jeremy. You mentioned specifications on the new vehicles that you're ordering. Will those specs include lifts for non-ambulatory seniors? Do we have any? Is that being considered?
Yes, we have asked that they are ADA compatible and that we can actually have a lift so that they can be able to get in, because most of our seniors, as you know, don't have very much strength to pull themselves up and to be able to climb on most vehicles. So that's why we have to try and get one as low to the ground as possible, or add something that they will be able to climb through.
Okay, and if you're considering a van with a lift for wheelchairs, are you thinking about that, or is that not something that is needed at the senior center at this point in time?
Right now, one with wheelchair accessible is not needed. Right now, most of our seniors are actually on just walkers. So if they are able to actually climb into the lower part of the vehicle, that would be sufficient enough. We will have something kind of like a ramp so that they can be able to walk into it.
I just think it's important going forward that we utilize forward thinking just in the event that we do have seniors that are non-ambulatory and in wheelchairs, that we would have something available to them. So I think if we're thinking about purchasing 2 vans, maybe consider one that would have a lift for that.
So the vans actually that we are looking at actually have removable seats, and they will have one that will have the ramp. So if in case we do need somebody with the wheelchair, we will have to remove the seats in order for them to fit, and we'll be able to go through the ramp itself. Of course, we would have to be the ones to push them, but that is a good idea for us to maybe have one that will lift itself with a wheelchair.
Well, and even the one that you push them on, like if you're assisting them onto the van, the ramp, the chair still has to be secured.
Yes, yes.
So just keep that in mind, and hopefully there's training on how to do tie downs for these wheelchairs so that we don't have any liability issues going forward.
Yes, ma'am. We will definitely look into all of that and make sure that they're all compatible with the ADA regulations.
Ms. Dora, I appreciate that. And then I have one more question. Mr. Maestas, you mentioned the Frito Pie dinner that we had at the senior center to raise money for this event. And I was in attendance, and the lights were not working. And I think that's really concerning because it is pretty dark out there. So do you know what the issue was? Is it a timer issue, or are there concerns with electric?
Thank you, Chair Rodriguez, honorable members of the committee. Great question. You're absolutely right. It was definitely a concern. So one of the areas that we're going to be covering with this renovation of the parking area is replacing the parking lot lights. One of the issues that we had was the timer for those lights. None of us, I think, were old enough to remember where the timer was, so we had a very hard time locating that timer. We were able to locate the timer, but there is some electrical needs that are going to need to be addressed. We actually did reach out to an electrician to get the lights, the outdoor lights under the portal replaced, as well as maybe adding an additional 2 outside lights. So he was supposed to get with us this week to come and give us an estimate. We haven't heard back from him, so we were actually just discussing that here on the side a minute ago. So we will be reaching out to him again tomorrow to see about him coming and giving us an estimate so that we can look about updating those lights, not only in the parking lot, but also in the portal areas as well. Yes, ma'am.
Which brings me to another question, I guess, are the lights on a timer at the walking path across from the fire department? Because I pass through there on a daily basis, and now that it's getting dark, it's pitch black. And the other thing is that I was walking there one day in the dark with my granddaughter, and then all of a sudden, I saw this woman pass me, no idea who she was. She opened up the panel and turned on the lights herself. I was like, whoa, that's not good. So
Chair Rodriguez, honorable members of the committee, sorry that I'm laughing, but it's just interesting some things that these people know. They obviously know more than even me. I don't even know where the panel is for those lights, because typically what happens is GSD handles the timers for those lights and the lights at Valdez Park. So I had initially already put in a request for them to put the timers on to be in coalition with the daylight savings time when it happened. And so I'm not sure what happened, but I will be bringing that up to them again and making sure that they secure the panel so that people aren't getting into them, because I'm thinking what happened is if people are aware of this panel that they're able to get into, that could be messing with the actual timer and why they're not coming on the way they're supposed to. So I will be addressing that again tomorrow with GSD. Thank you for letting me know.
we're looking into that. Yeah, that's another liability for the city, right?
Absolutely.
Not only tripping hazards when it's dark, but someone turning on the lights themselves. So thank you. Ms. Dora, thank you for your dedication and for all the activities that you provide to our senior community, and for the other individuals that participate in these senior activities. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you for all the hard work that you and your staff do on a daily basis. It's not easy preparing food for the numbers that you have. It takes a lot of preparation and a lot of time, and cleanup is equally as difficult. So thank you. We appreciate you, and we wish all of your staff a very happy holiday.
Thank you, and likewise.
So my agenda's cut. What's next on the agenda?
The library.
Ms. Sherry?
Good evening, Chairwoman and councilors. This evening, my report goes to library staff has attended a total of 4 webinars through the New Mexico State Library. And that's from leadership programs to summer reading to cataloging. They've attended different trainings. My children's programmer had attended a in-person training on December 5th at the State Library for summer reading. And they go over a lot of the summer reading programs and what to expect. And they also get different vouchers that we could order prizes for the kids for summer. So we attended that, or she attended that, and we got the voucher. And myself and my programs coordinator, Michael Archuleta, he and I attended the Santa Fe Opera meeting, and we're going to again take the kids, or a lot of the kids, to the summer youth night opera. And we're also working in conjunction with them also and the Opera Guild here in Espanola to try and bring opera to the parks. And hopefully during the summertime, we can at least bring 1 or 2 operas to the park. The library staff also provided Christmas ornament decoration for the children. And we had a lot of kids come in for the last week of November to do a lot of decorating for the ornaments that we had. Creative Kids Child Care Center, they came over and they picked up some supplies, and they actually took them over and they did bring them back. So we had a lot of theirs. They probably had about maybe 20, 25 ornaments that they made, which really helped us out a lot. And I guess in the library, we had probably about maybe close to, I'm going to say maybe 30 kids that came in throughout the week to do a lot of the decorating. For December, we have a lot of grab and go bags that we have available. Most of them are geared towards Christmas and ornament making. We have some in-person activities. A lot of these are for kids in story hour. There's a lot of food that's being offered this week. This week we're having Merry Movie Week, so we have 3 different movies that we're providing for a lot of the kids and families. They have s'mores that they're making on the 20th. There's hot chocolate and cookies on the 22nd. So if you're around, stop by. The statistics for November, total circulations was 1,451 items that were checked out from the library. Computer usage, 284. And a total number of programs that we provided for the library was 20, and about 333 people that attended all those 20 programs. Items that were cataloged, there was Peter, my cataloger. He did 194 books, and we're still getting a lot of orders in this week. So probably he'll have a lot more. The number will go up by the end of this month that he'll be cataloging. Our security gate count, a total of 1,851 people have come through the library. We've offered 23 new library cards and have answered 351 reference questions. That's on the phone and in person at the desk. And a total of 112 Wi-Fi users. And sometimes a lot of the people will use the Wi-Fi on the weekends. You'll see them parked outside because it runs for a certain amount of time during the weekends. And for library revenue, total for November was $496.39, which is a lot more than we did last year from $238.90. And I stand for any questions.
Sherry, Councilor Martinez.
No questions. Just sound like you've been a busy lady. But then that's I know that's Sherry. Thank you, ma'am, for everything you're doing. Keep it up. What can I say? You're doing a heck of a job. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you.
You're very much appreciated, ma'am. Just letting you know that.
Thank you, Councilor.
Aaron Salazar.
Thank you, Mrs. Sherry, again. Thank you. And of course, all your staff there at the library for everything that you guys do on a daily basis. Just, making a schedule and following through on it. Every day you guys have a lot of stuff. And again, thank you for all those ornaments that you had all the kids make for the trees and stuff, help decorate the tree. It was really nice. Thank you, Sherry. Really appreciate everything all you guys do.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'll let my staff know all that.
I just want to add also that each month you have a whole agenda of activities for the kids in the community as well as seniors and adults. You cover all facets, and we really appreciate you doing that. One thing that I do want to acknowledge is your meeting with the opera folks and strategically planning for the summertime. I think it's really important to be planning ahead. That's something that we all need to do in all of our programs and all of our departments, is to have a plan going forward. And I really appreciate that, because that's not something that you see all too often. We're always chasing our tails. And so this strategic planning and forward thinking is really appreciated. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I will let my staff know, because they are actually the ones out there in the forefront doing a lot of the work and a lot of the planning and doing a lot of the outreach programs. And, I'm never going to tell them no to any programs they have any ideas. It's, let's try it. Let's do this. I'm behind them.
Well, Sherry, we mentioned early on that it takes leadership for the staff to follow along, just like with our director, Jeremy Maestas. The same thing with you. It takes your leadership for your staff to feel valued and have that autonomy to think out of the box and know that you're going to support them with ideas that they might have. The other thing is the best practices, getting additional training and just building on that for your staff is really important as well. So thank you for being a leader, and thank your staff for being creative and bringing new ideas to the community and to the library. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
There's no further discussion. We will move on to the Recreation Department report with Ms. Maria Sandoval.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Chair Nanette Martinez. First, I'd like to thank you for continuing to do our aquatics as far as aqua aerobics here. Definitely everyone looks forward to your class. As a matter of fact, Ms. Angela Fresquez is doing Thursdays in the evening, 6 to 7 p.m. I'd like to point out in terms of the monthly reports from November, and then of course some basically October, November, and some from December. Definitely the revenue, it doesn't really fluctuate. Thankfully, we stay at above 4,000. And mainly the reason for that are either tournaments and or leagues that are placed here. And then of course the patron count goes higher anytime that those particular items happen, whether it's the weight room, the pool use, boxing, to tell you the truth, has increased tremendously. Rentals are on an increase now. Good to mention that EVCA, if you have knowledge of that, they have just been given approval from the schools to use their gymnasiums for the kids to play basketball. It was on hold for 2.5 years. And what we do is we collaborate with them so that they are able to have a place to practice, one, two, and a place to register the kids. So they basically use our lobby and or sometimes the gymnasium as well. Let me now go into tidbits in terms of what's going on with our pools. As you know, as usual, all pools have ups and downs, and ours, both Ranchitos Pool and Lucero Center, are pretty much an ongoing process with either one. But good things happen when we all collaborate. GSD, which is General Services, the aquatics coordinator, our own Jeremy Maestas, community services director, and yours truly in terms of what needs to happen and how fast. Sometimes it's not fast enough for a lot of our customers, but thankfully we are up and running with the Lucero Center pool. The Ranchitos pool, as I'm under the understanding with Ashley Schneider, aquatics coordinator, it will have a pressure test done sometime next week to find out what is going on and why is there a leak in that pool, because we are losing quite a bit of water, and it has to be full with water over the winter. Otherwise, the pool shell will definitely crack. And then there's a whole lot of other items as far as trouble there. Let's see, as far as here, recreational activities, if you remember the Thanksgiving co-ed softball tournament that was sponsored by the city was a great success. There were 27 baskets given to families. Thankfully, the weather cooperated. We were happy pretty much about that. Volleyball leagues, there are always, like in the fall and winter, they're always on demand, always. Whether it's the co-ed, women's. At this point, not a lot of males are into it unless it's basketball. And right now, basketball league is on hold due to referees. For some reason, well, not for some reason. Perhaps you all know that the Espanola Valley sleeps, breathes, eats basketball. I mean, really. And for the most part, to run a basketball league out here, it's not easy to get referees that are not certified. And when you try, or at least I'm trying to get certified referees, and they are supposed to be professional, but for the most part, it's hard to referee northern New Mexico teams, and especially recreation. So we, meaning most of the team's captains and our coaches, are working on certain creative ideas as to how to diminish our, per se, way of thinking as far as, basketball, because everybody loves it, but when it comes time to play it, the competition just, wins over, and they start trouble with that. But we're discussing on those items, thankfully. Mr. Gilbert Montoya, he had done what I would say camps, youth camps, sports youth camps before, pre-COVID. He's basically going to be doing that again. And he uses our facility on Saturday mornings for 2 hours. So far, that's going okay. It's not, great so far. But we're working on continual collaboration with him as well. The Learning Center which is across the street, and unfortunately, they don't have transportation to bus their kids here. They walk them over. And so because it has been so cold in the mornings, they were supposed to come in from 9 to 10 in order to do physical education. I was supposed to be the instructor. And because of the weather, that is on hold at this point. As I mentioned at the beginning with Mr. Morataya, who's the gentleman out of Santa Fe, he's going to be doing the indoor soccer youth league every Sunday, and I believe till April, the beginning of April. And like I mentioned, in regards to volleyball leagues and or even tournaments, that's pretty much our biggest revenue at this point. I did start an after-school program with kids, and this time around it was 7 weeks free of charge. And I was I had asked some of my staff if they had a little bit of time in order for them to pretty much do the some of the activities as well. And only a few cooperated, in time, depending on the dates, especially the lifeguards who come out of school after, I believe, 4:30. They end up coming in to work at 5. With that said, having the staff, help out, all of them have done a tremendous job in order to fill in here and there with everything that more or less is happening here. Mr. Gino Brazil, this is a new item. He basically asked if whether or not a class/dance exercise could be done. And so we agreed to try it for 7 weeks. It will start January 10th until I believe February 21st. And so what it will entail is for him to be, quote unquote, the DJ, and him and I will somewhat collaborate so that we can teach some of these dance sort of moves per se. I have never been a dance teacher whatsoever, but I know how to salsa and I know how to cumbia, merengue, a little bit of bachata. Don't ask me about foxtrot or any of those. I think I'm going to leave that to Gino Brazil. So if you want to come in and do this, it's going to be on Tuesday evenings from 6 to 8 p.m. And again, starting January 10th. Let's see. I believe that's it for me. I know that usually I collaborate with parks in terms of what's happening around and essentially all of the parks. They, with 3 people and sometimes 2, they tend to do more than what we think and then or see. And it's amazing how, with 2-3 people, they're able to accomplish a whole lot with just that many people. Sometimes I help out, especially up at the Sportsplex. But yes, I agree with all of you. The Christmas decoration and including our community services director, they have and they do a phenomenal job every year to decorate. Aside from, what they still need to do with the rest of the parks. Other than that, I stand for questions.
Any questions?
No questions here. Just want to thank her for all you're doing. Phenomenal job with the center and with everything that you're doing there, ma'am. Thank you, and have a Merry Christmas to you and your staff. Great job.
Thank you, sir.
Aaron Salazar.
Thank you, Mrs. Maria. Thank you for everything that you do. Look like you've been staying pretty busy as well. I had a question. Not sure. You mentioned that the pool in Rachitos has to stay full with water for the winter. Is that
correct?
Thing that you do? Is that just normal? Or?
No, sir. That's not normal at all. So that's why the test has to be done in order to find out what's going on there. So no, it's not normal.
So Maria, he's asking if it's normal for us to leave the pool with water in it.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, through the winter.
Yeah, so Chair Rodriguez, Councilor Salazar, it assists with preventing of the tile and the shell drying up and starting to crack.
Okay, thank you, Maria. Appreciate everything that you do, and everyone out there learn some salsa dancing.
Thank you, Councilor Salazar. I'm sorry, I can barely hear. That's why I could not understand your question. I should have asked again. Sorry about that.
Maria, thank you for an excellent report. You have a lot going on. You're trying different things. I know sometimes it becomes really discouraging when you takes all this forward planning and then the day comes and you get 2 people. So don't get discouraged. Continue to offer these activities to the community. And if we get 2 or 3 or 4, it's better than none. So thank you for being versatile and thinking about different things. I do have a suggestion, and this is coming from my water aerobics class and the people that frequent the facility. They were asking if there was a way for you to connect with somebody that could provide silver sneakers, someone that actually teaches the class. Because I guess you have something now called Strong Bones, and it's pretty much just a class that they all participate in, but they would really like to get silver sneakers back. I guess you had it at one time.
Let's see, as far as I know, Gino does Thursdays, 9:30 to 10:30, and he's the one that provides silver sneakers. But it's only on Thursdays. That's his only time frame. But I will definitely search for someone else who may be able to do that. I will also research in terms of what exactly silver sneakers entails, and in terms of what the plan, or in terms of the lesson plan. And I will definitely try to instill that in the evening class that I do. However, it's much more intense, but not a problem there. I'll definitely research more on that.
And I appreciate that, Maria, but you also have a lot of things on your plate. So I'm sure that you can get the certification to teach silver sneakers, but we don't want to continue to pull you apart to cover all these programs. So it would be nice if you were able to identify someone that could come in and do that. So
right, and that's exactly what I was pretty much, thinking of doing instead, because I know I do have quite a bit on my plate. So yes, thank you so much, Councilor Martinez.
Chair Rodriguez, members of the committee, I think it would also, we could have Dora, and I see that her hand's up, maybe Dora can assist with coordinating this, and maybe it can be a collaborative effort between Senior Center and Recreation. So Dora.
If I may, Chair Rodriguez, members of the council, we are actually trying to coordinate. We had a couple of representatives from the CNS insurance companies, and they are certified for silver sneakers through their insurances. And they are coordinating with my coordinator, Yvonne, to actually schedule them now coming the new year. Of course, they are going to start with the low-key silver sneakers exercises. So tell them to come on by or give us a call. We will be more than happy to take their ideas and any comments and have them come and join us. I believe it's going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Thank you so much, Dora. That's good news, and I definitely will give them the message. I will.
All right.
Much thanks, Dora, and Jeremy. Thank you.
Dora, maybe if once that is coming to fruition with ahead of time, let's get an email sent to Councilor Rodriguez so that she can share that information. Maybe we can generate a flyer.
Most definitely, I will be putting it out, and it will be on our calendar and our menu when we get that going as well in January.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dora.
And then just a question on the DJ class that's going to take place. Sounds like fun. Is there a cost for this class?
The cost is the same as if you were coming in to take my class or Gino's class. So if you're taking Gino's class, that would be $2.50 per seniors. per day. Or if you're coming to take mine, then it's $3 per day, $25 a month. For Gino's, I think it's $20 per month. So 20 or 25 per month.
Thank you, Ms. Maria.
Chair Rodriguez, members of the committee, I just wanted to add on to the report that we did get a quote today to install a sound system at the Sportsplex. And so we're hoping that we'll get the PR the PO for that to get it installed. I know the other thing that Poor Maria has been trying to work on quite a bit with the Sportsplex is getting some scoreboards installed in there. And unfortunately, we've run into some kinks because we have the scoreboards. I think, Maria, correct me if I'm wrong, we have the scoreboards. It's just a matter of us trying to get the funds and the electrician to come in and wire them. Is that correct, Maria?
That is correct, sir.
So we have brand new scoreboards. It's just a matter of us trying to figure out how we're going to get an electrician to come in and connect them. So we're hoping that now that the new year comes, we'll be able to get that going. But we're hoping as well that moving forward, we will be able to get this sound system in. So that'll be definitely, I'm sure, a well-received upgrade over at the Sportsplex. As you know, that facility is used extremely a lot during the whole baseball, softball season. So I'm sure they're excited about that, but just wanted to bring that to your attention. Also, we did receive a quote for a new sound system for the Plaza, the Mission. And so I have been in discussions with city manager in regards to the funds that we're going to pull for that. So hopefully we can get that going moving forward. One of the things that's going to happen moving forward with that sound system is only people who are city employees and who are familiar with utilizing the equipment will be allowed to use it as far as while I'm here. But just so that we are ensuring that not just anybody's going and moving those switches. So that'll be very exciting for the next event, because we do use that sound system for a lot of different events that the city co-sponsors and hosts. So we're hoping to get that going here soon too. So just those two quick updates for you as well.
Mr. Maestas, what would a quote look like for sound system?
Well, right now we're looking about almost $10,000 for the sound system up at Sportsplex, and we're looking at about a $12,000 estimate right now for the sound system at the Plaza.
And you currently have funding for that?
We have funding for the one at the Sportsplex, and the one at the Plaza, we're going to work with city manager as far as funding goes for that.
And then just one quick question, or just one quick comment. I just want to say I appreciate the planning, Ashley, Maria, and Mr. Maestas for I appreciate the planning at Ranchitos, right? Realizing that there's an issue and taking care of that issue right away rather than waiting till the summertime and us installing an opening. And this is what I was talking about, is that strategic planning, right? To take care of these issues ahead of time so that when we're scheduled to open, we're not chasing our tails trying to get it done. So thank you for doing that. Ms. Dora, your hand is up.
No, that was from prior, sorry.
You're just saying hi.
Hello.
Well, if there's no further reports or no further discussion, I just want to say I wish everyone a happy holiday. I've enjoyed being chair of this committee. Thank you for being patient with me and teaching me. I am committed to all of your departments and supporting you, and I'm sure all of our governing body is as well as our mayor. So have a happy holiday, stay safe, and blessings to you and your families.
Thank you, Chair. Before we dismiss, if I could, Madam Chair, members of the committee, so the next meeting, I know it says there that it's the 16th of January, but because that is the third Monday of the month, however, that does fall on a holiday, so the city will be closed, so we're going to need to move that meeting either to the 9th of January or the 23rd.
The 9th and the 23rd are Sunday, correct? Where am I?
Councilor Manny has his hand.
Councilor Manny Martinez?
I was just going to state that I think the 23rd would probably be good. This way, if we have any things coming in that month, being that there's the holidays and stuff, it'd give enough time for people to go and speak with Jeremy as far as if they want to start planning ahead for any activities this coming year.
So what's your preference, Councilor Martinez? I missed that.
I would say for myself, it'd be the 23rd, because if we do have any potential people wanting to start ahead of time for renting or for utilizing or asking for co-sponsorship, that it would give them enough time to start in January, being that the holidays are right around the corner, and then the 9th would come across right away.
Thank you.
I agree with the 23rd. I will be out of town on the 9th. So.
That works for me.
That's great, Councilor Valdez. So thank you, Mr. Jeremy Maestas. So our next meeting will be on January 23rd. And this meeting will be adjourned.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you guys have a great Christmas holidays.
As well.
Sir, thank you.
Merry Christmas to all.
Feliz
Merry
Navidad.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all and 12 and good night.
Oh.